and belief. And the Heat have to believe they have enough talent.
And I point the finger directly to Jimmy Butler. He's got to be better. Games 1 and 2, he was stellar. Games 3 to 5, he's averaged 9 points. He's got to be better to give this team a chance.
Oh, beautiful spin move, and Jimmy Butler with his second field goal. It's back out to Butler. Butler will try a three-pointer. It's good. Jimmy Butler 3 for 3 from the field. Adebayo back to Butler. Butler sneaks inside off the glass. Jimmy Butler with a terrific first quarter.
14 of the Heat's 29 points coming from Butler, up 9.
I let my team down a couple of games. I wasn't going to do it again. We know what we're capable of. We get to take it back to the crib and win Game 7.
Butler tries another three-pointer. Jimmy Butler 3 for 3 from downtown. Horford, bad pass stolen by Butler. Butler down the other end, slows down, lays it up and in. Now with 25 points and the Heat back up by 5.
He put his head down, got to the basket, way too many easy shots or point-blank layups. And just poor defense on our part.
Butler thought about a three, drives on Horford, stops, turns, falling away. It's good. Jimmy Butler with 35.
He's been incredible.
Butler the drive, gets inside, banks it home. Another 40-point masterpiece from Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler is a great competitor. His competitive will is as high as anybody, and he put his fingerprints on this game.
It's Butler. Butler turns, fires. It's good as the shot clock expires. And Butler now has 45.
He's been special.
Butler brilliance tonight to keep the Heat alive. 47 points. That's a career playoff high for Jimmy Butler.
One more win. And then after that one, we get 4. But as of right now, we got one more to get on Sunday.
For the third time this playoffs, we get a Game 7. That's on Sunday night. Welcome to Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm. Chris Miles here, one of the best point guards in the history of the game, Isaiah Thomas. Of course, we're going to talk about another point guard in the midst of making history later on in the show. So, Zeke, what's it like these days when you're looking at Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, getting ready for Game 7? What's your mindset like the hours and the days leading up to that Game 7?
Well, from a preparation standpoint, you know everything that the other team is going to do. So there are really no new plays. There really no new anything that's going to be thrown at you. And this is where the saying, comes down, it's a matter of will, not skill. And when we talk about will, that will is about how disciplined can you be throughout the course of the game. Can you maintain and sustain concentration and the energy level that you have to play with? Can you sustain that? So the intensity, the concentration, the energy, those are the things that you got to bring to the Game 7 to win the basketball game.
So all the things that Jimmy Butler brought to Game 6, you're saying needs to be brought to Game 7. But what's crazy about that 47 that he had in Game 6, that's almost double what he had in the previous 3 games combined. And we see that shot chart. Yeah, I see the 4 3-pointers made. Incredible. 16 made shots, 47 points, second most in Heat history in a playoff game. Also had 4 steals. Zeke, can you break it down for us how Jimmy Butler mastered affecting the game on both ends of the floor in that decisive Game 6?
Just the courage to compete. And here we talk about, discipline and concentration. He's locked in on Jaylen Brown in the corner. He doesn't overhelp, stays in position, defensive position, baits Horford. Now he's in the passing lane to get the steal. Not only does he make the steal, but now he makes the assist in terms of the right play. And again, you see him pointing out. This time he's locked in on Tatum. And he's not going to overhelp. Bates Horford again, gets in the passing lane. Now he goes down and he finishes. So this is what we talk about on offense. The screener gets the shot. So he'll set the screen. After he sets the screen, now he comes off the screen. Catches it, squares up, gets to that mid-range, that foul line area, knocks down the shot, gets an N1 opportunity. This is what Jimmy Butler is so good at. And we talk about the fundamentals and the little things. It wasn't anything that was spectacular that was happening, but as Spoelstra said, his will to compete, his will to be disciplined, and his will to also finish once he completed the play.
From the time that he sat out the second half in Game 3 with knee soreness. We didn't see this Jimmy Butler for 3 straight games. And then this happened, this explosion for 47 points. Why do you suppose that is?
You know, we were all like wondering about him because Game 5, we saw him shooting air balls from the three-point line. And then Game 6, you know, he comes back and he has this kind of game. And what we talk about is this is where the athlete pushes himself beyond the limits of his regular season body, right? So the inspiration comes in. This is where you have those spectacular performances at, because you really get to a level where you're playing outside of yourself. You're not really limited by your body anymore. You've almost got to a point where you've said, you know what? I'm going to risk my body. If I get hurt, I'm going to give it all, right? And that's what he did, you know, in Game 6. Can he do that in Game 7? He probably can, but will he have the same type of performance? The performance and also the competitiveness, they don't always go together. So he'll compete, but will he be able to give the same type of performance that he gave in Game 6?
Yeah, we saw that from you in your career with your wrist, also your ankle at different times, knowing how to play through that and perform at that level. We know that you know what you're talking about. Lowry and Strus, also two guys that have been going through some injuries. They were combined 1 for 28 in Games 4 and 5. Then they had 31 combined in Game 6. Zeke, what did those two guys do differently, and is this exactly what they need with Tyler Hero out with that groin injury?
They made big, timely shots at the right time, but more importantly, they kept their confidence. And they're, you know, these are big momentum shots. You know, Boston was, you know, in the process of, you know, getting back into the game, taking control of the game. Strus made a couple of shots, then Lowry made a couple of shots. But, you know, where the shot-making ability comes from and the confidence comes from is, hey, they put in the work. They practice. So they believe in their practice habits. They believe in their skills. So the 1 for 28 combined doesn't bother two guys like that who have put in the work practicing. Now, if we're talking about two guys who don't practice, they're 1 for 28, psychologically, they're messed up for about 2 months, because they haven't laid the foundation to be able to bounce back from bad games. Those who lay the foundation, they're able to bounce back from bad games, bad moments, because they can get back into their comfort zone.
We understand the fact that Jaylen Brown puts in that work. He missed those 2 free throws late in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum had 7 turnovers, including 4 in the fourth quarter. Not a lot of time for that to linger for them. But again, that pressure. For these Celtics, that pressure's on Tatum and Brown. For them, yesterday, today, going into Game 7, how do they let that go and get ready for this game that could end their season?
You know, when you're trying to win a championship, you know, pressure comes with what we do. And, you know, Jaylen Brown will bounce back, just like Tatum will bounce back. And when you look at, you know, the 2 missed free throws, you look at the 4 turnovers by Tatum, the thing that we know is those things are correctable, right? Even though they happen in crucial times and crucial moments of the game, these two are capable of bouncing back, and they will bounce back. We've seen them play extremely well out on the road. And then they have the experience. You know, this is a Celtic team. You know, this is their 3rd appearances in the Eastern Conference Finals. Without playing LeBron James, you know. So, you know, they have the experience to bounce back. This is a time where they can break through. We'll have to wait and see if they do. But I have no doubt in my mind that Tatum and Brown will play better the next game than they did the last.
Yeah, and for Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, that's 4 Eastern Conference Finals for them. I mean, this has been an incredible run.
They've been knocking on the door for a while, so they got experience.
Does that, you know, put itself in the back of their minds as a team? Like, you're trying to get over that hump. You got a Game 7. And in this series, the road team has been winning. So, like, home court advantage doesn't seem to matter that much. But for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, do you think at all they're thinking, man, we've never been to the finals. We're right here. This is our turn. We're no longer, behind Kyrie Irving or, the rookies on this team. This is our team. This is a Game 7 for us to get there, just like in the Bucks series.
Hey, I can only go back to my mindset when we were trying to beat Boston, trying to break through. And we finally got to the point where it was like, you know what? It's time for us to win. And my mindset was, I'm getting ready to beat the out of you. And that's how Boston have to go into Miami. They have to go into there thinking that, okay, we're not holding anything back, but we're getting ready to beat the life out of this team that we're getting ready to play against.
Well, they're 10-1 following a loss since the All-Star break, so this is not a team that consistently loses back-to-back games, and this is why we've had such a great series